And now for our next news special report.
Tonight we're delving into a story of paramount importance to every American. Picture this: the foundation of our republic, the integrity of our elections, is under a microscope in Georgia. Former President Trump has thrown down the gauntlet, demanding a return to paper ballots, same-day voting, and stringent voter ID laws. Why? To safeguard our elections from what he calls the specter of interference. This isn't just another news story, it's the heartbeat of our republic. As Georgia's voting machines face a federal trial, the implications are monumental, not just for Georgia, but for the entire nation. So stick with us to the end of this report for an explosive final thought that will shake the core of how you view our election system. You don't want to miss our deep dive into the fight for America's electoral soul. And before we dive into a detailed report, let's take a moment like the unwavering commitment to bring you the top-notch news daily. Our financial security should be just as steadfast. Think about it. In uncertain times, akin to the uncertainties in our voting system, gold has proven to be a reliable safeguard. With tensions escalating globally and financial markets showing volatility, gold's value has soared past $2,000 an ounce, striking parallel to the need for security and stability in our voting process. And the Patriot Gold Group offers a no-fee-for-life IRA, ensuring your investments are as secure as our need for election integrity. That number on the screen is 888-857-9437. Give them a call for your free investor guide today and mention Next News for best-in-class service. Now, tonight we're breaking down a story at the very core of our republic's future, the integrity of our electoral system. At the heart of it are recent calls by former President Donald Trump for a drastic overhaul of our voting process, emphasizing the need for paper ballots, same-day voting, and voter ID. Now, this is not just rhetoric, it's a response to deep-seated concerns about the security and fairness of our elections. But first we begin in Georgia, where a federal trial is underway scrutinizing the state's voting machines. This trial isn't just a local issue, it's a national concern with potential repercussions for future elections across America. The plaintiffs, the Coalition for Good Governance, argue that Georgia's computerized voting machines are so vulnerable to hacking that they infringe on constitutional rights. They're pushing for a return to paper ballots statewide, echoing Trump's stance on election security. But why is this important? Remember, Georgia was a key battleground in the 2020 and 2022 elections. The integrity of its voting systems has implications far beyond its borders. The plaintiffs contend that the vulnerabilities in these machines put voter choice at unacceptable risk of being altered. It's a sentiment that Trump has repeatedly echoed. He's been vocal about the need for paper ballots, same-day voting, and voter ID, and in a recent interview, he highlighted the importance of these measures for preventing election interference. Watch.
We were going to pay down debt. We were going to reduce taxes further. We gave the largest tax cut in history, and we were going to pay down debt further. And we were doing a great job. And then we had a very unfortunate election. Now, I know who you're involved with, so I can say it here. But sometimes they say you'll cut it out. So, you know, why? What's the purpose? But we had a rigged election.
We don't cut anything out.
No, you don't. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say it with you. We had a rigged election. It was rigged, 100% rigged. And the question I get most is, number one, how do you take it? And I take it, I guess, because genetically I take it. I think I also take it because we're doing so well. We're leading everybody by so much. So that helps. But the other question I get the most, probably number two, maybe number one sometimes, is how do we stop them from cheating? People ask me, will they do it again, sir? Because, you know, I'm in Florida now, and I drive to various locations and airports and places. Every house has a Trump sign on it. Trump 2024. We got all the votes we need. The risk is what's going to happen during election period. It used to be election day or election night. They'd say election night. But today you don't have that. You have 60 days, 40 days, 30 days. You have some states where they have 8 days to count the vote after the election is over. How do you have an election when you have to count the vote for? And, you know, the machines are supposed to speed up the process, right? We ought to go to all paper. All paper. You know, they have now watermark paper. It's incredible what you can do with paper. Right. But we go all paper, same day voting, and voter ID, a little thing like voter ID. The Democrats are violently against voter ID because it will make it very hard for them to cheat. Can you imagine somebody saying, we don't want voter ID? You know.
Well, I know who does, and those are the Democrats. And they do for the very reason you're intimating.
Yeah.
They cheated in 2020. They cheated in 2022. Those are statements of fact. Yep. They're not. Somebody can dispute them, but the facts are straightforward.
Now, his concern centers around the extended voting periods and the potential vulnerabilities they introduce, and his stance is clear. The Democrats are against voter ID because it would make it harder for them to cheat. Of course, this is a bold claim, one that resonates with many Americans like me who are increasingly concerned about the integrity of their vote. So this brings us to a crucial point. The concern is not just about past elections, but about the future integrity of our electoral process. In the trial in Georgia, the outcome could lead to significant changes in how votes are counted and possibly set a precedent for other states. The spotlight on Georgia's voting machines isn't new. These machines, made by Dominion Voting Systems, have been a central focus of Trump's fraud claims. The trial's timing is crucial as it unfolds just months before what could be a heated rematch between Trump and President Joe Biden in 2024. Biden narrowly won Georgia in 2020, a victory that some, including Trump, have questioned. It's important to note that the plaintiffs do not assert that hackers exploited the machines in past elections. However, they argue the risk of hacking has increased, especially after activists allegedly stole voting system software in Coffee County, Georgia. Now, this incident has become central to Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis' sweeping indictment of the former president and his allies. The trial, presided over by Judge Amy Totenberg, an Obama-era appointee, could lead to stronger controls against potential hacks or the abandonment of these devices altogether. So this is a pivotal moment for voter integrity in America as we debate the balance between technological advancement and the security of our voting process. Here's more.
Sworn in. Also happening today, a bench trial or a trial without a jury will begin to determine if Georgia's electronic voting system has major cybersecurity flaws and if those flaws amount to a violation of voters' constitutional rights to cast their ballots and have their votes accurately counted. This is all coming after activists filed a lawsuit wanting the state to get rid of its electronic voting machines in favor of hand-marked ballots.
Now let's consider the broader implications. The battle for election integrity is not just about the technicalities of voting machines or the specifics of election laws. It's about trust in our democratic process. When large segments of the population feel their vote might not count or worse, be altered, it shakes the foundation of our republic. This isn't just a conservative issue, it's an American issue. Ensuring that every vote counts and reflects the will of the people should be a nonpartisan goal. Yet in today's highly charged political climate, election integrity has become a battleground of opposing ideologies. Critics argue that Trump's push for paper ballots and voter ID is a veiled attempt to suppress voters. However, supporters contend these measures are necessary to protect the sanctity of the vote. What's clear here is that the debate over how we vote is as much about the legitimacy of our elections as it is about the actual mechanisms of voting. As we delve deeper into the trial and its implications, we do have to ask ourselves, what do we want our voting system to look like? Is the push for technological advancement overshadowing the need for security and transparency? Are we doing enough to ensure that every American, regardless of political affiliation, can trust the outcome of our elections? The answers to these questions are critical as we move towards the 2024 presidential election. The decision made in Georgia and the broader national debate on election integrity will shape the future of our electoral process. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. And now, my final thought. As we conclude tonight's report, it's crucial to reflect on the essence of what we've discussed. This isn't just about a trial in Georgia or about partisan politics. It's about the very bedrock of our republic. Former President Trump's advocacy for paper ballots and same-day voting and voter ID isn't a mere political stance. It's a clarion call for securing the sanctity of every American's vote. Now, why is this important? Because the integrity of our voting system is synonymous with the integrity of our republic. The push for paper ballots is not a step backwards. Rather, it's a step towards ensuring that every vote is counted accurately and fairly, free from the risks of technological vulnerabilities and manipulation. In a time when trust in the electoral process is wavering, these measures are not just a necessity, they are an imperative. They're about preserving the core of our system and ensuring that the vote of the American people is heard loud and clear. As patriots, we must support these efforts to protect our elections, for the future of our republic. It depends on it.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.